calling in the bitch, calling in truth, calling in clarity, calling in expression, calling in I don't give a fuck energy. Yes, today is the bitch. And I actually did not feel like doing a video because I didn't feel like getting dressed. And then I was like, fuck it, the bitch doesn't need to be validated by her appearance. I can show up with my dirty hair, unwashed face in my pajamas because it's been quite a day. And that's the beauty of the bitch archetype, and something I have to consistently remind myself. That need for external validation, bitch don't got time for that. So yeah, the bitch is a big one. It's been one that I've consistently had to confront and remind myself to be aware of. When am I reaching beyond what is true for me as a surviving nice girl like me, people pleaser, really wanted everyone to like me, popular girl in school. Yeah, just wanting to be liked, and then in doing that, not honoring the truth of who I was, and so being completely lost as a young teenager, early 20-year-old, in roles that, were completely detached. I was not embodied. I was not in my body, ultimately. I was just kind of like this hungry puppy waiting for somebody to like give her a bone, a nice word, a kind gesture, basing so much of my worth on my external appearance, from modeling, from all of these very material, superficial realms, so very outside of my body. So the bitch is deep self-respect. When I think of embodied bitches, I think of I was thinking about Rihanna showing up on that Vogue cover in her sweats, and bitch don't give a fuck. Anna Wintour, say what you like. These women are so in their power, in their truth, in their business, they're making money. They're not here to worry about naysayers and haters. And it's so freeing when we stop giving a fuck about what everybody else thinks. And this is something I work with women so much, because it's a deep conditioning to feel that we need to serve others before ourselves. It happens in relationships, it happens in family dynamics. From such a young age, we are brought up to accommodate, to make the home nice, to make people feel comfortable, often to our own detriment. And if there's a wound there of no boundaries or discipline or divorce or violation, whatever it could be as a child, that then continues in your adult life, where you just do not know where is your containment, where is your off no button. So for me, in my personal journey, my body, bless this beautiful body of mine, was my signal and is my signal still today when I'm overstepping, when I'm not paying attention to my needs. For instance, I've just broken out in eczema. Haven't had eczema in years. My skin, biggest organ, first point of contact. When my skin is breaking out in your face, for me it's now eczema, I know that there's been a consistent violating of my boundary, of my personal space. And, I'm in such a beautiful relationship with such a divine masculine. I can become resentful of him, but that's not the bitch, because the bitch don't blame other people, because it's your responsibility when you are not honoring your boundaries. How's your partner meant to know if you are, overstepping and being this kind of sponge? The empath has to consistently learn when she's, overextending, or he is overextending. So I really had to check in with myself. I need alone time. I need to regather my energy. I love serving. My work is to be available. And so the bitch knows when it's like, time out. Like, time out. This is not my responsibility. I have to remain very clear with my work, and like particularly now with money. I got a job, I got a career, I want to build an empire, I want to be successful, I want to be free, I want to be sovereign, financially independent, do what I want to do. And in order to get to that point, I've got to have boundaries with people. If you're not paying me to sit and chat and receive all of this teaching and wisdom, then I'm not available, I'm not always available for that. And I know that sounds harsh, and I had to kind of maybe speak to that in family and friendships, because there's sometimes you'll find with the people closest to you, it's often the hardest to set boundaries. And then we feel so guilty because we said, I don't want to come to that family dinner, or I'm not available to take this call and listen to you talk about the same issue that you're having, because I have my own capacity with the work that I do, or with my own personal healing journey. So that's the bitch. She don't have to explain herself, and it's very challenging, I'm not gonna lie. I've come up with a lot of like resistance with friends, with family, feeling so guilty, wondering if I've ruined something. But ultimately, if I'm true to my intuition, if I'm true to my truth, that I am done, that this is not something I can right now be available for, then I have to honor that. That's the bitch. And I don't need to explain to you why. When I say no, it's no. And that's the process of activating the voice. So in my work with women, when we start to really listen to our own sound, my tone, when I started doing this voice activation work, I actually dropped like octaves in my own throat voice, because I was speaking from a deeper embodied place. I'm fine! I'm really fine! That like high pitch, like I'm fine! Like when you hear that higher pitch, that's the tension in the vocal folds. So that tension, oftentimes you can hear with people when what they're saying is not matching the vibration or the frequency of the sound that's coming out. So I know for myself when my voice is getting shaky, it's like, oof, there's some emotion in there. There's something coming out. And when I can breathe, when I can speak from this very true place, I drop in. My voice drops in. So voice activation is huge, because one of the first boundaries is vocal boundaries, saying no, asking for what we want, speaking truth, being able to actually speak your mind, to ask for what you want, to honor your needs. Something that I've also realized is, before we even start worrying about physical boundaries with lovers or people or work, we have to know our own internal boundary. What is the container, the capacity of our internal container boundary? For example, when am I overcharging my nervous system? And this bitch loves to overcharge her nervous system. It's like, oh, we can do more, we can work out, we can do more. And then I'm like absolutely spent by the end of the week, wondering why I did that to myself. And so it's like today, for instance, I just cancelled all my plans. I didn't explain it to people why I'm not available. I have to listen to my nervous system. I have to hold that space for myself, that internal boundary, because if I'm not doing that, it becomes very difficult to then put in place boundaries with other people. So the next one would be, physical boundaries, removing yourself from situations that trigger not discomfort, because discomfort is good. Discomfort is good. There's a level of understanding when we are avoiding growth and when we are just being like a sponge to other people's shit. So learning when to say no because it serves you, not because you're avoiding growth. And that's a very fine thing. We talk about that a lot in retreat. Really listening to the intuition and not the fear response. So physically removing myself from situations. I don't want to hang out with people that talk boring crap about others or complain. Plain fact. I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So that's the bitch. And you can say what you like and you can judge. And I really don't have time to worry about other people's judgments because this bitch got work to do. I'm building beautiful brand, beautiful relationship, beautiful friendships. So yeah, knowing where your physical boundaries are. And then there's the energetic boundary. And this is like, I find the sort of final frontier. You'll feel when a bitch walks into the room. There's this energy that somebody holds when they're in their power, when they're in their full sovereign dignity, self-respect. It's like people don't even want to fuck with them because their energetic boundary is so strong that you're not invited to try and take or, feed off of. It's like there's just this natural, graceful element. And that's the difference between being like a forceful bitch that's not embodied versus like I'm not even explaining myself. I just show up and I am that powerful being. And it's quite amazing when you're in the presence of like boss ass bitches. You feel that shit. It's very clear. So yeah, that's the energetic element. And that comes from all those other boundaries, the container of yourself, the vocal boundaries, the physical boundaries. As you get better and better at, knowing where your limits are, the energetic one falls into place naturally. And you can start operating in the world from this really whole place. Because codependency, manipulation, being taken advantage of, all of these things happen when you are not taking responsibility for your no, for your boundary, for your limits, So the bitch knows it starts with her. No more blaming. Take full responsibility. Looking outside and pointing out problems. Yeah. Again, don't got time for that. Have work to do. Look at yourself first. Listen to your body. Listen to the signs. If you are consistently being taken advantage of, manipulated, your boss is treating you like shit, where are you not holding your self-respect? In relationships, where am I saying yes instead of saying no? And if you have been violated or there's trauma there, this takes some work. It takes some building of these boundaries. So also be gentle on yourself, honor where you're at. And that's why I do what I do, because I'm here to wake up those bitches, to feel that sense of value. Because when the bitch is in her power, she's unstoppable. She's birthing businesses, she's making the money, she's running things, and she feels like this endless source of energy. And people are just like, whoa, you're a shining bright star, and I am inspired by you. So yeah, find yourself some bitches to look up to. I have many archetypal women that I'm just like, yes, queen, bow to you. So yeah, that is the bitch for today. There's so much more I could speak on, but I got a time limit. And this bitch is going to make some hot chocolate and relax. And then do Krav Maga, because self-defense is also a wonderful way to activate the bitch, to like actually physically come into contact with, you know, other bodies and activating that fight response. But that's a whole other chat. So blessings to the bitches. Yeah, I will look forward to continuing this discussion with you all.